Another video about the MC-303, this groove box from 1997 from Roland. I recently made a couple of videos where I actually use this and use some sounds in Ableton. This video is a bit different. What I did now is I sampled this entire machine, or at least all the melodic sounds, into Ableton and created a sample pack. So let's just rewind a little bit. The MC-303 from Roland, it's a groove box. It's basically a rompler, so it has sounds in it. You can edit a little bit, but you can basically sequence them. There's some drum sounds in there as well. And you basically have 8 tracks, so you can create a track or like a beat with this machine. The way I've been using it is to send MIDI to this box and then record individual layers into Ableton and then do some sound design on it. And I think it has some great sounds in it. So my idea was like, let's sample this entire box into the computer and then I can create a sample pack from it for you to download. The sample pack is now live on Gumroad, link in the description, so go check that out if you want some 90s inspired sounds. The sample pack contains 316 sounds from the first 19 banks of this device. It's all the melodic sounds and sound effects, so I didn't sample the drums because those drum sounds you can find anywhere. It's all the standard Roland kit. I think there's something really nice about these vintage synthesizer sounds. So let's play a few of those sounds that I sampled from this device, and after that I will explain to you how I sampled it. These sounds are from the first bank, which is the synthesizer bank, and then you have stuff like this. Very basic. This sounds almost like a sine wave. So all kinds of different synth sounds, but the sample pack contains much more. So bass sounds, effect sounds, guitars, pianos, electric pianos. And what I did for this sample pack is that I sampled one note of each instrument. So here in Ableton is the session for the first bank. So the first bank consists of 35 different synth sounds. What I did, I created a MIDI track in Ableton with, in this case, a C3. So depending on the type of banks. So for the bank with the bass sounds, I used a C1. And in this case, it's 4 bars long. And I sent this MIDI to the MC-303 and then I recorded the audio in. So as you can see, there's one track for each sound. And then I let it run a little bit longer because sometimes there's a bit of release time of the sound. And I recorded stereo out from this machine into Ableton at 48 kilohertz, 24-bit, which is more than enough because this rompler isn't that high of a resolution. And I didn't do any processing to the sound in Ableton. So it is just raw out of the machine. And then I exported that as a WAV file. And the way I see how you can use this is, of course, just as audio on the timeline. But you can also create your own instrument from this. So if you import the waveform into a sampler, either hardware sampler or software, but in Ableton, either the simpler device or the sampler device, you can basically create your own instrument by using it as a one-shot or engaging with the loop mode and then doing some extra sound design to build your own instrument. So let me show you what I mean. I'm gonna add a MIDI track here. And on this MIDI track, I'm gonna load a sampler instrument. And then I'm gonna maybe, what was it, number 14? Number 15. I'm gonna load this into sampler now. Change the start and end point, or at least the start point for now. And since this is a C3 and the root node of sampler by default is C3, this should work straight out of the box. The volume is a bit low, I'm not sure why. Should I normalize this maybe? There's a bit of click at the beginning, so I'm gonna add like 2 milliseconds of attack and a bit of decay of release, 1 second. And now you have your instrument. You can play this polyphonically. You can, of course, change the sustain mode and make it loop and do some filtering and all that kind of stuff to it. But this is the way I would use it. So I have those 316 sounds, put them into sampler, create my own instrument, not necessarily keeping the sound as is, maybe do some sound design to it and kind of change it. But it is a beginning. It's like source material that you can use. You play it really low. And of course you can say like you should sample it at more notes, but this is just a very basic way to sample it, 1 note per instrument. It was still a lot of work to do to let the audio run through for all the sounds, chop them up, and then export them and make sure that all the naming and all the file names are correct. So if you download the sample pack, it will be grouped per bank and then numbered as it is in the device. So if you download the manual for this device, you can actually look up what the actual name is of the sound that you find in the sample pack. If you're interested in MC-303 sounds, go to Gumroad, download it, experiment with it, play with it, make some music with it, and let me know in the comments of this video what you think of the sample pack. As always, thanks for watching, keep making music, and see you in the next one.